5 things you need to know before moving to Baton Rouge. Howdy, my name is Shawn. I'm a real estate agent here in the greater Baton Rouge area. If you're looking to make the move to Baton Rouge and have some questions about the process, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help in any way that I can. There are a lot more than just 5 things to keep in mind before moving to Baton Rouge, but I believe these 5 to be very important. If you'd like to learn more about the greater Baton Rouge area, feel free to like, subscribe, and okay, let's jump into it. So one of the first things you want to keep in mind before moving to Baton Rouge is that we do have a lower cost of living compared to the rest of the United States. But compared to the rest of the state, we average a little bit higher. And this kind of comes with the territory of being the second largest city in the state. Now, with that said, there are a lot of different parts of Baton Rouge, just like any other major city, where you're going to see some very upscale neighborhoods, and then you're going to see a lot of affordable neighborhoods. If you were looking to buy a home in Baton Rouge, the median sales price in May of 2023 was $268,000. Now, taking that number, if you compare it nationally, where the median sales price for Q1 was $436,800, it seems like it's very much affordable. Now, if you're looking to move to Baton Rouge but rent first, the rents can vary from $900 for like a studio apartment all the way to around $2,200 for a 4-bed. But if you're looking to rent in certain areas where the amenities are closer, like LSU, then the rent can get much higher because of the demand. Definitely something to keep in mind when you're looking to rent in the area. The next thing that you really want to keep in mind before moving to Baton Rouge is the climate. In general, Louisiana has its pros and cons when it comes to the weather. It can be pretty unpredictable, but for the most part, you do get all 4 seasons, and sometimes you get all 4 seasons in one day. One of the big things that people aren't usually used to is the humidity. This is especially noticeable in the mornings, but the humidity is very, very high. It makes the summers feel hotter, and it makes the winters feel colder. Adding on to the humidity, it does rain a lot in Baton Rouge, so if you're looking to move, definitely pack a pair of rain boots and definitely bring your umbrella. Now, with the rain, you do experience most of that in the spring, so definitely keep that in mind. So combining the humidity and the heat, it's a pretty hot situation here in Baton Rouge. With that said, the winters don't get Alaska cold, but they do get pretty cold out here. You experience some mild winters. Now, as far as snow, it doesn't typically snow here in Baton Rouge, but when it does, it can get pretty chaotic. Since our roads aren't built for snow and our drivers aren't prepared to drive through snow, we tend to see higher accidents and we tend to see a lot more road closures and school closures. It's a whole event. Another major aspect of our climate is hurricane season. While we don't get the brunt of hurricane season like our neighbor New Orleans, we do definitely feel the effects of it. When looking to move here, it's definitely a good idea to check to see if your home is in a flood zone, and you can check the LSU maps or the FEMA flood maps for that information. There are certain parts of Baton Rouge that do flood frequently, so it's definitely important to find out which homes are in flood X zones or flood AE zones. The next thing that you have to be aware of is that there are 2 major colleges here in Baton Rouge. The 2 major colleges here in Baton Rouge are Louisiana State University and Southern University. So LSU is Louisiana's largest college, and it's considered our flagship school. So LSU is located south of Mid-City, and it's also located near the Mississippi River. With LSU being a premier school in the SEC, we always have people from all around the country visiting Baton Rouge. And one of the most notable reasons is, of course, LSU football. If you're looking to move down here, definitely be aware of LSU football. It's huge around here. A lot of people get really revved up about it. If you're not a football person, there's still a lot to do in Baton Rouge without LSU football, but a lot of stuff does center around it. The other major university here in Baton Rouge is Southern University. Southern University is the largest HBCU in the state of Louisiana. Southern University is located on the north side of Baton Rouge, and it is also located near the Mississippi River. There are a lot of events around Baton Rouge that do center around Southern football, and it is a big thing out here as well. One of the major and most notable things about Southern University is its marching band, the Human Jukebox. The Human Jukebox is a major cultural factor here in Baton Rouge. It has influenced many marching bands in and around the area, and it is a huge drawing point for many out-of-state students to come and go to school here. With Southern having one of the strongest marching bands in the country, there are Battle of the Band events out here in Baton Rouge, and it influenced a lot of marching bands around as well. For the fourth thing to keep in mind when moving to Baton Rouge is that Baton Rouge loves its festivals. It is no surprise that Baton Rouge loves to party. With 2 major colleges here in the city, there's bound to be lots of partying going on and lots of tailgating. There are a few notable events throughout the year, like the new 225 Fest that goes on in downtown, as well as the Baton Rouge Blues Festival and the Baton Rouge Soul Food Festival. And just like our neighbor New Orleans, we also celebrate Mardi Gras. In the month of February, Baton Rouge holds many different parades throughout the city. Most of the Mardi Gras parades and festivals are going to be held in downtown, but there are a few that go into neighborhoods like the Crew of South Downs. One of the huge parades that we celebrate here in Baton Rouge is the Spanish Town Parade. So if there's one parade that you're planning on going to, I would go to that one and make sure you wear pink. Bonus points if you can also bring like a pet flamingo or something like that. Okay, don't actually bring a flamingo. And for the last thing that you want to be aware of before you move to Baton Rouge is that we have a lot of traffic. Now, this is a very touchy subject when it comes to people that live here because this has been a persistent issue for a while now. Like many other major cities, a lot of people live in the outer parts of Baton Rouge and they work in Baton Rouge, so the commute tends to be pretty hefty when you take that into account. A few of the most popular suburbs here in Baton Rouge include Denham Springs, Prairieville, and Zachary. So you can expect around 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, just heavy traffic coming outside of Baton Rouge towards the Denham area, Prairieville, Zachary, all of those areas. Now, in my experience, if you live in Baton Rouge and you commute to work in the suburbs like Denham, Prairieville, Gonzales, Walker, wherever, it tends to be a little bit easier. Now, if you're looking to move in the near future, this year or even 2024, you definitely want to be aware of the I-10 widening project. The city is going to be adding an extra lane to I-10, and with that, they're going to have to close some lanes. So the traffic that we're dealing with is going to get a little bit worse for the meantime, but the idea is that hopefully it'll help alleviate the issues that we're having right now. Well, guys, those were 5 things to keep in mind when moving to Baton Rouge. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about anything, definitely feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to leave all my contact information in the description down below. Let me know your thoughts on the video, guys, and thanks for watching. Peace.